How do you find an interior designer for your novel? An interior designer is somebody who's going to come in and help you with the chapter headers, the scene dividers, maybe your title page if it's going to be different than your cover, maybe any of the internal graphics. So if you're going to have pictures of your characters or a scene, or you're going to do something interesting with the interior graphic designs, you're going to need to hire an interior designer. And this can be somebody who does all of that, or you can do this in pieces. So somebody is going to do like the chapter headers and the scene dividers, but you're also going to have somebody different do the title page or the acknowledgement page. Or if you're going to have like something special in there, it could be a couple of different people. So you want to take into consideration what you're doing and be aware that this is going to cost you money the more you work with and the more that you put in. So the more intense your graphics, the more you can expect to pay for this. Now you can design some of your own interior graphics, especially just like little things like your scene dividers. That's easy enough for you to do. You don't necessarily have to hire somebody professional for that. But if you want good quality chapter headers or any like big interior graphics, I do recommend hiring a professional designer or artist, depending on which side you're going with on this one. If you're doing like character art, hire an artist. A graphic designer is not necessarily an artist. If you hire me as your graphic designer, I can do chapter headers. I can do incredible things inside of your book, but I cannot draw people. I'm not an artist. I am a creator, but I'm not an artist. So if you want certain things, you'll have to hire an artist, but for the rest of it, most of it, it's going to be an interior designer. So you do want to make sure that you are looking in books that you like that have really good graphics, and go to the acknowledgements page and see who designed those graphics, or go to the copyright page. Sometimes they're listed in the copyright page, sometimes they're listed in the acknowledgements, sometimes both. If you have a book that you really like and you know the person, go to the author, and if it doesn't say it inside of the book, and call them up, text them up and say, who did you get to do this? Ask the questions, ask your author friends. They're going to be more than happy to share their graphic designers with you. You can also go to places like author groups. You're going to go to the search tab and you're going to look for interior designers. That's different than interior formatters. Okay, we've had conversations about formatters. Those are the people that get the files ready and get everything all nice and looking good together. An interior designer is the person who makes it pretty. So think of it in terms of like a house. Your formatter is going to be the person who builds the house. Your interior designer is going to be the person who decorates it. Okay? Different things, different concepts. So you want to make sure you are going to your author friends. You're looking in books that you really like. You're also going to go to author groups on Facebook, go to the search tab and type in interior designers and start looking through those past conversations. Do not start a new conversation. They've been happening for years. People are going to get aggravated if you didn't search first. So go look for those searches, and you can even type in like different genres or different types of things to see if there's more qualified conversations to be looking through first. You can also go to places like Reedsy.com, which is like Fiverr, but for the publishing industry. And people will say, I'm an interior designer, I can make those things for you. But this is also one where you can go to like Fiverr. You can go to some of those other places to look up interior designs, because it is not the same as a book cover. It's not the same as book formatting. It is not the same as your editing of your novel. You don't need a publishing specific person for some of these graphic elements. You can actually do this with people who are not necessarily book specific for a chapter header or a scene divider or just like really cool things. They're going to have some awareness of the industry, and you might have to explain things to them if they're not in the industry, but it doesn't have to be hyper specific to the publishing space for it to be successful. So you are going to be going and looking for examples. You're going to make sure that person has an actual professional website. You're going to look to see if they're active and engaged on social media. You're going to look for examples of their past work. You're going to look for other people that they've worked with. Do your due diligence and make sure you then have conversations about how many revisions you can make, how much it's going to cost you, if that you have to, get different size files because your formatter said it's not going to work. What is that conversation going to look like? Because sometimes, especially if you're not working with somebody who is your formatter or your interior designer person, if you've got like a lot of chefs in the kitchen, they're going to give you file sizes that are too big or not the correct dimensions for the book. So this might be a collaborative process, getting a lot of things and having a lot of conversations. So make sure you talk about that up front before you hire them, because it'll just be aggravating if you have to go through this process after the fact. So make sure you know what the process looks like to work with them, to revise things, and to get the proper file sizes. Before you work with these people, get the dimensions. My gosh, please don't just say you have free reign to do whatever and then have something that's not going to work. So get the dimensions, talk to your formatter first on what you need, have those discussions, then hire your person with those pieces of information in place so that everything flows smoothly and you get what you actually need. And talk about, turnaround times and things like that as well. So check with your friends, check with books that you like, check with author groups, and check with places like Reedsy or Fiverr, or even just cool people on social media who are doing really great graphic design. Bring them in. Bring them in. You can do cool collaborations with this. This is actually a really fun way if they are somebody who is very social media friendly. There are so many good collaborations for you and for them so that you can both get a lot of press out of this as well. And if you want to have conversations on that, go ahead and let me know. We can talk about how to leverage this for your marketing. We can talk about how to leverage the entire book creation process for your marketing if that's something that you want. So let me know down below. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes as we continue to help you navigate the world of publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress, overwhelm, and time commitment on your content creation. We'll see you then.